Hi guys, it's Max from HiOnAndroid.com, where we get on Android every day. Anyway, today we're gonna go ahead and talk about the final Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus specs based on the leaks. We're gonna try to really narrow down what's already a fact versus a rumor. So let's go do this, baby. Alright, the first thing I want to actually talk about is the aspect ratio. So I printed out a bunch of leaks, and this first one is by Evan Bloss. He's on Twitter, and he always leaks official stuff, and pretty much everything he leaked has always become true. He has like a rating of 99.9999%. So this is an actual official image from Samsung that Evan was able to grab. Now I was really wondering what the aspect ratio is. So based on this, I simply measured it out. It's 7 inches across and 3.5 inches, which gives you a ratio of 2. All right, what does that mean? So 18:9 on the LG G6 is pretty much 2:1. All right, the ratio. So it's going to be 18:9, or people are saying it's going to be 18.5:9. So I actually did measure out some other ones. I measured this one out, and it gave me a ratio of 2.21, which means it's all ultra wide. But you can see in this photo that it's actually taken at an angle, so it may have skewed the results. All right, we'll go ahead and take a look at it again. And then I took a look at this one also. This one I'm actually not sure because none of the other leaks have Samsung, and this seems a little bit longer. But then again, you can see the bottom of it, which means it was taken at an angle. This gives you a ratio of 1.89, which is a lot less than 18.9. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be it. Based on my measurement, it's 18:9, but a lot of news are saying it's gonna be 18.5:9. All right, let's just go ahead and compare. Let me just kind of bring it right there. If you can see, LG G6 is 18:9. Now, if I line up the top and the bottom of the screen, you can see that the S8 or S8 Plus is slightly longer. So the bottom line, 18:9 aspect ratio or 18.5:9. That's pretty much confirmed. It's not going to be wider. It's not going to be like 16:9. It's definitely going to be very similar to the LG G6. All right, next let's go ahead and look at some of the leaked photos. I looked through all of them, and I only chose the ones that are actually official. So this one you can see from /leaks.com, a user Leakspinner. He's been leaking some really good photos, and you can see this is an official Galaxy S8 or S8 Plus. You can see there's an edge screen. Obviously the edge screen is gonna be probably like the Galaxy Note 7, not as pronounced as last year's S7 Edge. Also, you can see that there's no more home button, there's soft keys. Now, one thing I'm wondering is that there was earlier in the year that Samsung is developing a fingerprint sensor that's built onto the screen. Now that we will find out, that's a rumor, but it could happen that there's a fingerprint sensor embedded in the display. So I'm really excited if that would really happen. And you'll notice at the top there is a iris scanner. Obviously, Samsung would take that technology from Note 7 and put it on the S8. Okay, this is a confirmed image of the back of the S8 and S8 Plus. And you'll notice there's a camera. There's one camera. There's no dual cameras. There is a fingerprint sensor. The location seems a little bit weird. I feel like, you might accidentally hit the camera instead of the fingerprint. So I'm not fond of the design because you're going to keep smudging your camera sometimes. I think I'll have to use it to find out. But that's definitely a fingerprint sensor. That's pretty much confirmed on the back, right by the camera. All right, you can see the left side here, and there's volume buttons and what I believe is an extra button or power button. I'm not sure because there's another button on the other side. Now you can see the curves here, and it's gonna definitely be a curved screen. And here's the button on the right. All right, so it must be an extra feature button. It doesn't seem like a camera button. We're not sure what that button does yet, so that's sort of a mystery, but we know the button's there. All right, so there's gonna be an extra button that's not a power button. Could be a convenience key that you could customize to any key. We'll find out here. All right, on top you got a SIM card tray. I believe it's gonna be either single SIM. It's gonna be either two different models with dual SIM model, or one with SIM and micro SD card, or it could just be two SIM cards with an option to put micro SD card, which I hope. And there's a microphone on the right, and you can tell by the case there's no opening for IR blaster, meaning there probably won't be IR blaster. That's pretty much confirmed. I know some of you want the IR blaster. Unfortunately, I don't think it will have it on the S8. All right, looking at the bottom, very similar to the Galaxy Note 7. Obviously, you got USB Type-C in the middle. You still have a 3.5mm headphone jack. You got an additional microphone and speakers. All right, here's a really good look at it. And you can see these are actually two different phones, one smaller, one bigger. Now, this photo confirms that both the S8 and the S8 Plus will have a curved screen. Just the S8 is going to be smaller brother, while the S8 Plus is going to be bigger. All right, this is a pretty much known fact. The S8 and S8 Plus will either have Qualcomm 835 probably for US models, and Exynos 8895 for Korean and international models, or mix and match of those. Processor is definitely going to be very, very fast. Now let's talk about display. Right now, we don't have any idea what the display is actually going to be. Now, based on the aspect ratio, we have sort of a 18:9 resolution, which is like 2880 by 1440, or it could be like 2900 by 1440. But what I'm really hoping is that they actually put 4K screen in there. Perhaps not enable for everything, just for VR. Since most of the Samsung phones nowadays, you can change the resolution. I don't see why not they could actually put that on there. And that's a rumor, a spec that's not been confirmed. But a lot of Chinese users that have seen an actual S8 are saying that it's not going to be 4K. So 90% sure it's not going to be 4K. There's also news that Samsung may release a 4K version later this year. But what we know so far, it's going to have 18:9, probably around 2880 by 1440 resolution. Now let's talk about the camera next. Camera, right now the rumor is saying f1.7 12 megapixel for the back camera, which hasn't really changed from last year's. But you know, if you look at Samsung's history from S6 to S7, there was a much better performance improvement, especially in low light. So I really expect the same from them. Whereas Nexus 6P to Pixel wasn't really that much improvement. Actually, I feel like they have exact same camera. But with the S8 and S8 Plus, I believe they have enhanced the low light capabilities, either with the sensor, either with the processing. We should be able to expect, 10-20% improvement in low light. Just from off top of my head. There's no dual camera. I don't really feel like dual camera is necessary. But my wish list is definitely an f1.4. Now, it's not been confirmed. Those are all rumors, so we'll find out if Samsung can come up with like an f1.4. That would be a killer camera. Anyway, to wrap it up, this is all we know. All of these photos are pretty much real, been confirmed, and that's all we know so far. So really, what we don't know is the display, the actual display specs, also the camera specs, and that's going to be very exciting if Samsung can come up on top with excellent specs. Anyway, join me later this month. I'll be in New York for the March 29th Samsung unveiling event. I'll have a hands-on video there and hopefully some live videos on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, all that good stuff. Hit the thumbs up for me. Have a great day. And as always, stay on Android.
Click here to subscribe.